Hey everybody, welcome back to Veteranbassin. Today we're going to talk about my top 5 lures for winter fishing. Now, winter fishing can be the tough, well, not the tough, well actually I would say one of the toughest, if not the toughest, time to fish. There are flies flying everywhere because of these horses, and it's also one of the warmest days out here that I've had a chance to get out here and do things. As you can tell, I'm in shorts. But with that being said, my top 5 baits. So I'm gonna get these out and get started. Don't mind Molly. She is pitching a fit right now because she's on punishment. Because she decided to leave the yard when she wasn't supposed to. So she's on punishment. So, my top 5 baits for winter fishing. So, first off, you can't really talk winter fishing and baits without, let me get it out here, a swim bait head. Any type of swim bait head or swim bait on any kind of weight, because you have to get it down low. You have to get low. They're actually more further down in the water column. So a swim bait head. Mind you, this video is going to be short and sweet because for real, the fish are, on a day like this, you might see them a little shallower because it's actually, I think it's in like the low 60s today. So, what can you do? Molly is mad. But the temperature's in the low 60s today. So, I mean, you might find them a little bit more shallower, but as generally speaking, wintertime, cold, the fish are lethargic. So, they're going to be a whole lot deeper and not that willing to eat. So, my number one, ain't my number one, but out of my top 5, yeah, you know what I'm saying, it's in the top 5. So a swim bait, any kind of swim bait head, you know what, I'm gonna pull out the swim bait that I like to use. It is in my other bag. So I will give you 2 brands. You can also you could do a Kitech on the finesse side, like a 3 point, I think it's a 3.8 or 3.5, one of the two. But a Kitech or a Guggen Baits Saucy Swimmer works also, same size. Now, my next my next lure out of my top 5, which is not in here, so we'll close that up, is, well, the next 2 that's in here, for real, will be and I hate this part because I got to get a better crankbait box. I do. But a lipless crankbait, put y'all back in there, would be a lipless crankbait. And yes, it's a crankbait. Me personally, I prefer them more in the fall, but in the winter they work good too. Only thing about it is you're not going to, with me, you don't cast and wind. It's got a tight wobble. Oh my goodness. It's got a tight wobble, but you're going to be fishing this, hopping it off the bottom. You want to hop it off the bottom. That's all I'm going to say about that. Again, like I say, this video is going to be short and sweet. I'm getting right to the point because I have other things I need to do. The next, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you the brand. Let me get this out. Brands that I use. I only really use 2 brands of crankbait, especially when you're talking lipless. The Googan Squad, I believe this is the Recon. If I remember correctly, this is the Recon. And then the 6 Sense, let me pull this out. I'm loose. Time management, I gotta do better about it. But the 6 Sense Quake, 6 Sense Quake, those are the only 2 that I use as far as crankbait go. Now there are other crankbaits on the market, but I'm just telling you what I use. So with that being said, then next is, let me get it out. And this is something that I use on those cold days when I'm able to fish. And I'm pretty sure you've heard about it. And sorry, I'm moving around a lot. Like I say, my back. But I'm pretty sure you've heard about it over and over and over again. But you have the Mega Bass. Let's see if I can get it closer. The Mega Bass 110. Now, the thing about, well, I'm sorry. I like to use a jerkbait. So I've already told you about the Mega Bass 110. And, oh my goodness, let go. The Googan Baits Scout. Both are good baits, very good baits. I use, when the weather is a little warmer, I use the Googan Bait Scout. And I fish it still slow, but not as slow as I would fish when the water is very cold, the Mega Bass 110. And if the fish are a little bit deeper, I will get the Mega Bass 110 plus 1. Now they did come out with a plus 2. They did come out with a Mega Bass 110 Junior, but that's for a whole nother video. Now, again, keeping it real fast, I've already told you about the swim bait. I've told you about the crankbait, lipless crankbait, and the jerkbait. Next on my list, and I didn't pull my soft plastics out, but who can talk cold weather fishing and not talk about a jig? Who can do that? Especially a jig is so multi-purpose, it is not even freaking funny. It can be fished all year round, but in cold weather situations, it is dynamite. It's killer. There are, you have 2 ends of the spectrum. Now, you have the football head jig, which this is when I need to fish very deep offshore. And then you have the, I think this is a 1/4 ounce, no, 3/6 ounce, 3/16 of an ounce jig. The 3/16 of an ounce jig is when I need to go finesse. If I don't need to go finesse, then I can just drag the football head. But they both serve their purpose. They both serve their purposes. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Short and sweet. The last thing, actually, it deals in soft plastic, and it's 2 separate things. And one is these gnats. I hate summer weather. I wish it was a little bit more colder, but then too I wouldn't be outside and doing this. Is a drop shot, one. The next thing is plane. But the next thing is a net rig. Drop shot, and a net rig. Both are more on the finesse side of things. They're different colors. I'm not going to go into color specific. As far as the drop shot goes, I like to use really the Guggen drag and drop for my drop shot. And my soft plastics are not with me. For the net rig, I like to use one of two. I like to use the Z-Man TRD, or I like to use the Rattling Ned by Guggen Baits. So those are my top 5 fishing lures or rigs that I like to use when bass fishing. If you enjoyed, I know this was short and sweet, I'm sorry, but again, I'm kind of pressed for time here. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Don't forget to comment on anything else that you would like to see. Waiting on I'm waiting on January to see what happened with my appointment with my back. And as you can tell, I've been standing for too long. My back is getting tired. So with that being said, thank you for everybody who's been rocking with the channel. And if you're new, join the family. One love, we out.